Hello all, welcome to Go Easy Tutorials. So in these tutorials you are going to see some important questions of your 10th class for the examination 2021, and here today in this video you are going to see the 2 mark questions which are important for your examination of the chapter chemical reactions and equations. So let us go for a few questions. So here question number 1 we are having. So in this video you are having some few spelling mistakes, so adjust with this. I'm going to correct the spellings wherever necessary. Okay, why do diamond and graphite, the two allotropic forms of carbon, evolve different amounts of heat on combustion? So you know that carbon is having some allotropic forms, right? So what are those allotropic forms? Diamond, graphite, right? In simple we can say types of carbon. Okay, exactly it is not the types, but for your understanding purpose we can say that these are the types. Okay, so they are asking why do diamond and graphite, the two allotropic forms of carbon, evolve? So evolve is nothing but generate or produce different amount of heat on combustion. So when they are went through combustion, they are going, these two allotropic forms of carbon are going to produce some heat. Okay, that means different amount of heat is released when these are burnt. So why they are asking? So the answer is diamond and graphite are the two allotropes of the carbon, but they do not evolve same amount of heat on combustion because they differ in the arrangement of carbon atoms, and also their shapes are different. Okay, their shapes are different here. So the allotropic forms of carbon, that is nothing but diamond and graphite, are different and they are having different arrangement of carbon atoms. Okay, so that is the reason why they are going to release certain or different amount of heat on combustion. So here the second question is, what is the role of oxidizing agent in a reaction? Okay, so what is the work of any oxidizing agent in a particular reaction? So the work is nothing but the oxidizing agent supply. Okay, it's going to supply the oxygen in a reaction or it removes the hydrogen. So you know that oxidizing agent and reducing agent, right? Oxidizing agent and reducing agent. So when in a reaction, when a substance or is going to add the oxygen or supply oxygen, then it is called as what? Oxidizing agent. Okay, or when oxygen is removed, then it is called as what? Reducing agent. Got it? So what is the role of oxidizing agent in a reaction? So if oxidizing agent is nothing but a substance which oxidizes another substance, or it gives its oxygen to other substance, so it is going to supply oxygen, okay, in a reaction, or it is going to remove the hydrogen. So next question, why are food particles preferably packed in aluminium foil? So if you go to any hotel or any items, if you see, when you borrow any food items, have you seen they are packed in aluminium foil? Why it is done? Because aluminium foil do not corrode in atmosphere even if it is kept for a long time, because a protective coating of aluminium oxide is formed on the surface of the foil and stops any further reaction of the metal with air and water. Thus food particles do not get spoiled here. So to prevent the corrosion, so have you seen that when iron is kept in moisture or air, what happens? It is going to react with oxygen and you are going to see formation of rusting, right? So in the same way, when aluminium foil is not going to corrode with the atmospheric air when it is kept for long time, okay, because it is going to react with oxygen and it is going to form what? Aluminium oxide. So when this is formed on the surface of the foil and a layer is formed, which layer? Aluminium oxide layer is formed. So this further stops the reaction of any other metal with the air and water, and thus the food particles are not going to get spoiled, okay. So this is the reason. What happens to lime water with the CO2 gas is bubbled through it in excess. So you know that when lime water is added to carbon dioxide, bubbles are formed, okay. Bubbles are formed, okay. So when these bubbles are formed, what is the thing you are going to get? So here, when carbon dioxide gas is bubbled through lime water in excess, then initially it becomes milky and later its milkiness disappears. So when lime water is mixed up with CO2 gas, what happens? Bubbles are going to form, and after forming bubbles you are going to see the liquid is going to turn into milky whitish in color. And if you add this lime water excess, and that means when bubbles are more, what happens? The milkiness is going to disappear and the solution is going to become clear. Why cannot a chemical change be normally reversed? So they are saying that why the chemical change is not reversed, okay. So chemical change cannot be reversed back because products so formed in a chemical reaction are totally different from the reactants. So I can say this, when you add, let me say this is the water you have taken and you have added sugar to it. So when you add sugar to it, the sugar is going to dissolve in water completely, okay. So it has been changed chemically, so the solution is chemically changed. Can you separate sugar and water? No, you can't do this. You cannot bring the reaction reversed because it is a chemical reaction. So chemical reactions are not reversed back because products formed in a chemical reaction are totally different from the reactants. So these are the reactants, right? And what we got sugar solution. So this is one of the example for this change. Next, a student took 2 to 3 grams of substance X in a glass beaker and poured water over it slowly. He observed bubbles along with hissing noise. The beaker becomes quite hot. Identify X. What type of reaction is it? So they are saying that a certain substance is taken. We call that as substance as X. How much we have taken? 2 to 3 grams of the substance and we have added in a beaker, and after that we have poured some water in it slowly, okay. So what we are going to see, he observed bubbles along with hissing noise. When the water is added to this solution or this X substance, he observed that bubbles are formed and hissing sound is observed. So they are asking that what the beaker becomes quite hot and the beaker is also going to become hot. So they are asking what is the substance X here and what type of reaction it is. So here calcium X is nothing but calcium oxide quicklime, and the reaction is combination reaction. So when calcium oxide quicklime is added to the water, what happens? Bubbles are going to form and hissing sound is formed. So this X is nothing but calcium oxide, and this type of reaction is nothing but what? Combination reaction. So next question. A substance X used for coating iron articles is added to blue solution of a reddish brown metal Y. the color of the solution gets discharged. Identify X and Y and also the type of reaction. So before question and this question is same, but here they ask two substances X and Y, and the question is X is used for coating iron articles, is added to blue solution. So here X is added to a blue solution of a reddish brown metal Y. Okay, what is the color we are going to get, and what are the substances, and what is the type of reaction they are asking. So here X is nothing but iron, Fe is nothing but iron, and Y is nothing but copper here. Blue solution, so when you mix copper so if you observe properly, when you add you have taken copper solution in a beaker, and if you add a nail here, okay, when you add nail to this solution, the solution is going to become blue in color, and the nail is going to become brownish or reddish brown in color. So they are asking X is iron and Y is copper, and this reaction is nothing but displacement reaction. So next question, why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? So you are having one experiment, right? You are going to take the magnesium ribbon and with the sandpaper or you are going to rub it. So that means you are going to clean it before burning in the air. So why they are asking? So because magnesium ribbon is cleaned before burning to remove the protective layer of the basic magnesium carbonate from the surface of magnesium ribbon. So to remove the magnesium carbonate upon the magnesium ribbon, we are going to clean it, okay, by using some sandpaper. You are going to clean it, or okay, so just to remove the magnesium. So here the main answer is to remove the magnesium carbonate. You are going to rub the magnesium ribbon. So next question, why do we apply paint on iron articles? So why do we apply paint upon have you seen the bridges are made up of iron and they are painted, and some of your iron articles in your houses also, they are also painted, because so you all know this, to reduce or to prevent the iron from rusting only, right? So we apply paint on the iron articles to prevent rusting. So when iron is going to react with oxygen, what happens? Ferrous oxide is formed, that is nothing but what? Rusting is going to take place, and this can spoil the iron. So iron articles do not come in contact with atmospheric oxygen and moisture, and thus the rusting is prevented. Why we are going to paint it? Because to prevent rusting. And what happens when we paint the iron articles? They do not come in contact with, that means atmospheric oxygen and iron is not going to mix up, and in this way the prevention of rusting is going to take place. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Oil and fat containing items are flushed with nitrogen. Why they are asking? So are rancid due to oxidation with atmospheric oxygen. So here rancid is nothing but unpleasant smell, okay, unpleasant, and taste is also changed. So for that kind of food we are going to call it as what? Rancid food. Okay, so when oil and fat containing items get rancid due to oxidation with atmospheric oxygen, Okay, when atmospheric oxygen, that means the oxygen which is present in our environment, that is going to mix up with these food particles, and they are going to get what? Rancid. To prevent this rancidity, food items are flushed with nitrogen. Nitrogen do not react with oil and fat containing items. So they are going to mix up with the they are going to flush with the nitrogen, because this nitrogen is not going to mix with oil and fat containing items. So we are having few more questions here. Let us go with one by one. So here one of the question is identify the reaction. So here what you have to do, you have to identify the reaction. Identify the reaction. So this type of questions are also seen in your examination. So they are going to give just few of the reaction, and you have to identify which kind of reaction it is. So A plus A gives rise to B plus C. So this is what kind of reaction? Option A. And second here, AD plus CD gives rise to AD plus CB. So we have to find out these two reactions and what are those two reactions. So here the first reaction for the answer is decompose. So it is decomposition reaction. And the second one is double displacement reaction. So here what happened? So the second one is double displacement reaction. Okay, so this is one kind of question, and you'll be having another question. Why does not silver evolve hydrogen on reacting with dilute H2SO4? That means, what is the meaning of this question? When silver is mixed with dilute H2SO4, it is not going to produce hydrogen gas. Okay, why they are asked? So answer will be silver do not evolve hydrogen on reacting with dilute H2SO4 because silver is less reactive metal than hydrogen. Okay, so they ask that silver is not going to evolve or produce or hydrogen gas when reacted with dilute H2SO4. Okay, they asked why. So because silver is not going to evolve hydrogen gas on reacting with dilute H2SO4 because silver is less reactive metal than hydrogen. Okay, that is the reason why silver is not going to evolve hydrogen gas when reacted with dilute H2SO4. So another question here you are having, why a combustion reaction? So here, why a combustion reaction is an oxidation reaction? Why the combustion reaction is always oxidation reaction, they are asking. So your answer is the combustion reaction an oxidation reaction because it is always carried out in the presence of air or oxygen. So the combustion reaction, you have to remember, it is always an oxidation reaction because it is carried, okay, it is carried out in the only in the presence of oxygen and or air. Okay, so next question here, identify the substance oxidized and reduced in the reaction. So they gave one reaction here, CuO, copper oxide plus, so here copper oxide plus zinc gives rise to zinc oxide plus copper is separated, right? So here what happens, copper lost oxygen and zinc gained oxygen here. So here which is the oxidized substance? So from reactant side we got oxygen to the zinc. So zinc is oxidized substance and here copper oxide is reduced to copper. So reduced substance is nothing but what? Copper. So this kind of questions you are going to see in your examination. So one more question. So here nothing but you are going to describe what is precipitation reaction and you are going to give an example for this. So what is precipitation reaction? It is a chemical reaction. So what is a precipitation reaction? It is a chemical reaction in which an insoluble substance is formed. Okay, and that reaction we are going to call it as precipitation. And here the insoluble substance is nothing but precipitate. We are going to call that substance as the precipitate. The insoluble substance we are going to call it as what? Precipitate. And this kind of reaction is called as what? Precipitation reaction. Example, silver nitrate AgNO3 is going to mix up with sodium chloride, that gives to silver chloride AgCl plus NaNO3, sodium nitrate. Okay, so when we mix up these two substances, we are going to get silver chloride and sodium nitrate substance, and these two substances are not going to mix up. We can say in the test tube, two layers are going to seen. Okay, and we have got the upper layer is just like the, if you put some cream upon or any oil in water, what happens? The oil is going to float, right? So in the same way, these two substances are not going to mix, and this unsubstance or insoluble substance, we are going to call it as what? Precipitate. So thank you for watching the video. For more videos, please subscribe Go Easy Tutorials. Please like, share.